All right, everyone, welcome to the show. This week's Tennessee Wildcast, TWRA's weekly podcast show. I'm Doug Markham.
Welcome back, Doug.
Jason Harmon, thank you. Thanks for welcoming me back.
You've been on special assignment.
I have been. I've been doing some fishing research, fish research down in Florida. And I need to go back because my research was poor, as usual.
You know, last week's guest could have taught you a few things. Michael Neal.
Oh, Michael Neal was a really good interview, and we need to get back with him sometime and get more sportsmen on the show. And we got one on with us today. We're about to introduce
a sportress.
A sportress.
Is that a word?
A sportswoman.
I like that. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce Julie.
Yes.
You want to? This is Julie Schuster. Do I need to introduce Julie? A lot of people know Julie.
No, that's fine.
Been around a long time and she's done a radio show herself here in Nashville, Tennessee, on a big station a few years back, and worked at Bass Pro Shops for a long time. Pretty famous over at Bass Pro Shops, and then after that became a commissioner of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Commission, or what it was called then.
Tennessee Wildlife Resources Commission. That's right. You know, there's been so many acronyms since I've started in the outdoor industry that it gets confusing sometimes.
It does. And the other acronym is TWRF, which is where you are now.
Correct. Correct.
Julie is executive director of the Wildlife Foundation, which is a fundraising arm of TWRA, or how do you like to say that?
That probably is the best way, but people are always like, well, so what does that mean? And we really strategically try and partner with TWRA in finding ways that we can help you guys, other than, you know, there's not always funding there, obviously, because you're not, you know, funded through the state. It's only through license sales. And there may be projects that come up or anything like that, and we can help raise funds to help you guys get that. And we also do grants. We help you with grants that, you know, help with research. And then we also do restricted accounts, which are some of your wildlife officers and staff. You know, they do youth fishing day, you know, deer hunts and things. And so they are able through their local communities to raise funding through our nonprofit. And we put those in a restricted account under their name. And then when the time comes, they can pull from that and buy equipment for that event. So
it really helps because we do work for the government. There's a lot of bureaucracy there, and,
yes,
and it helps in areas where we don't need there to be bureaucracy, like an event, a fishing event with it. Why do you want to go through all that when you can raise money and just go do the event?
Right, and then because of the nonprofit status, then they're able the donors are able to deduct that. So it really works well, and you know my passion for the agency, and so I want to do anything that we can to assist you guys to do your job.
How long you were out? We're going to talk about turkey hunting too, because Julie's a big time sportsman, fisherman, hunter, fisherwoman, however.
Love
Julie,
it all.
Whatever, Julie.
Yes,
but anyway,
everything.
She's very good, and been doing it a long time, and goes out west and the whole works. Anyway, though, but how long have you been at the commission? I mean, have you been in this position now, and how long were you a commissioner?
So I'll kind of start out with Bass Pro Shops. So I worked for them for 9 years and did marketing in Nashville here. Right. And then they were doing a restructuring at the time when, you know, the economy kind of tanked in 2009.
I remember that well.
Right?
Yep.
And so I was no longer with them. And during that time period, in between jobs, is when I was approached to be Tennessee Wildlife Commissioner, which was huge to me. I mean, it was such an honor. And to this day, it's such an honor. Not only you become lifelong friends with the commissioners you serve with, but just to learn. And I always say this, and it's interesting, but I had no idea until then that politics entered into wildlife.
Oh, surprise.
Yes. It was really something. And, you know,
it could probably be worse, but yes, no doubt.
There's that aspect of it. And to learn that and understand it was a big deal. And I always thought in that position, for me, you know, the resource is the first thing, the most important thing. You know, working the sportsmen into that next, and then the economic impact of that overall in the state is kind of how I looked at things. And that seemed to serve me well. And it's really something. I think the general public has no idea what goes on with the agency. You know, sometimes they're out hunting or something and they see an officer, and that's their only touch point to the agency, and it can sometimes be negative, but they have no idea all that you guys do. It's what keeps things turning in the state when it comes to wildlife, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. There is a lot of stuff. We're in the Region 5 building. We call it the Nashville headquarters office here today, and there's it's just like any other administrative. There's just all kinds of administrative stuff that has to happen before things can happen in the field or make the things happen in the field. It's a business.
Or fishing. That's a big thing that we're so privileged here to have some great bodies of water close to Nashville. And I think people just go out and fish and think that they just take care of themselves, like they repopulate that much.
Right.
But you guys are stocking every year, and that has to happen, and there's costs associated with that.
I think a lot of folks like TWR. I think they understand. I think there are some, because we have folks that write tickets to them, there's always going to be that relationship that's not as good as it could be or might be. But I think if people ever did what you said, Julie, if they would take the time to study their wildlife agency and look at the history, they'd really appreciate what folks have done here for a long, long time. And I say that as a person that's almost been a spectator for 30 years, because I didn't come from the wildlife field. I came from another field and watched these folks through all these years, and I've watched our commission work all these years, and I know where your heart is. It's not in the politics until it has to be. It's in doing what's right for the wildlife and fish and sportsmen.
And, I know we need the political scene at times to really move through those issues that are important to the agency. So I understand the value of that, but I guess like anything, there's a pro and a con to it. So I've seen both sides to that, and it's been great. Yeah,
very good. And, but you left the commission.
Right.
You
so
left a little early.
What I did was I left the commission a year early because after I left Bass Pro, then I started with Gaylord, and we hosted that Land and Wildlife Expo for 3 or 4 years, which was a really great opportunity as well, and a successful event. But things changed there because of ownership from Gaylord over to Marriott.
It's the corporate world, right?
Right. And so then there was this opportunity, the position for the executive director of the foundation. And because of where my passion lies, it just seemed like a natural fit in my marketing background. And so I took on the project, and I've loved working with TWA. The difficult thing sometimes when you leave the commission is you feel like you've left that camaraderie, and I've been privileged to stay with it and help and assist in ways that I can as much as possible.
Awesome. And where is the foundation located? Are you guys in Nashville, or where are you at?
We're in Nashville. We're at 5000 Limbar Drive, which is just
South
off
Nashville.
of 24 in Harding.
Okay.
That's where we are for now. Hopefully we have some other opportunities here in the future, but, and we're just down the road from you guys.
What kind of staff does the foundation have?
Well, there are a lot of things that are encompassed under the foundation. We have the Tennessee Stream Mitigation, and then we have the foundation, your basic foundation, and then we also manage the Montgomery County Shooting Complex, just south of Clarksville. So our immediate staff are actually 5 of us, and then TSMP has their own staff of 6 or 7, and then the Montgomery County Shooting Complex also has its staff up there.
Okay, and if you haven't been to that complex, one of the nicest complexes in Tennessee.
Oh,
it's awesome.
It's unbelievable. I know it's not like right outside of Nashville, but there are so many things going on up there, and Steve Christensen has done an awesome job of really bringing that complex along and bringing in new venues. It's wireless. We've got sporting clays, 5-stand. We've got pistol. We have long-range shooting. We've just have a lot of different opportunities
Pistol
going
shooting
on.
and you can
everything.
I think the long range is out to 400 yards or something like that.
And you go out and spend the day and you shoot all day, right?
It's a bit of a drive if you're in Nashville.
Right.
I mean, it's not too far from Clarksville.
Right. It'll be an hour.
Yeah.
But you can spend the day there. It's so beautiful. It's out in the country, and it's really fun. And they have a shop there, so you can get food and all your ammo. If you need some rental guns,
you can take your boat, lock bees right there, and the fishing can be really good down the river.
That's true.
So
very
true. A lot of stuff there.
Yes,
it's a beautiful place, and it's on a wildlife management area also.
Correct.
Right in that area.
Yeah.
That's just one of many things. What else would you say the foundation has done to benefit sportsmen through the years with your fundraising, or have things been built? Are there lands being purchased? What's happened?
Well, there's so many different things that we do, and we have purchased land in the past. Of course, with our Tennessee Stream Mitigation Program, there's been a lot of restoration of streams throughout our state. And then also, some of the other things that we do, I'm just trying to think offhand here. I know that Johnny Allred, our development director, has also been able to acquire some land that's been donated to us, and we've been able to turn that over to the Wildlife Agency. And that's happened recently down in Giles County. There was like a boat access area that a family wanted to donate, and we were able to turn that over to TWRA. So we do that, plus some of the things also that we've mentioned to you. Go ahead.
I was going to say the Yanali Range is something that y'all also help. It's a small range, but it's cool. For just for people sighting in for hunting only over in the Columbia area. Tennessee,
right.
County.
And, right now we're working with Director Carter and the agency on some specific things that we want to be able to help the agency with. And right now, those are some handicap access areas for fishing. And then also, there's a new property over in Humphreys County that, we're hoping to build a youth center, and we'll be involved with that. And
that's great.
When people know there are specific things like that they can donate to, that they've had a part of, it's a lot easier to raise money. So we're looking at, as we have just finished up the foundation, our strategic plan, in getting our board members on board to raise money in the community for those projects, because that's where you guys really need the help. When to see these things come to fruition is a big deal, and people get to enjoy those in the community as well. So that's a good thing.
And the property you're talking about over in Humphreys County, is that Buffalo Ridge?
I think so.
Okay,
yes.
All right. It's a nice piece of property. Jason's been there. So I've never been there, but Jason's been there a bunch of times.
I have a
really
question
nice
about the fishing access. Is that part of the Moment of Freedom?
Right, the Moment of Freedom, which is that was started by Shane Hall, which passed away last year. We really hated to lose him. He was just a great proponent of that program. And so what the goal is to find handicap access areas for hunting and fishing in each of the counties across Tennessee. And the commission has been really involved in that. And what a great thing. It's kind of like nobody thinks about it till one gets built, and then they're like, well, why don't we have these in more areas? And it's so cool to see these folks be able to get involved and get out and do the things that they love.
This is Julie. Are you guys also going to be helping with the waterfowl, the areas, the blind areas that Shane got going there?
Yes.
Or is that too early to say something like
No,
that? No,
I would say yes.
Yeah, okay.
Everywhere we can, we're going to do that. And I know the commission is fully on board to help out with that. And, of course, it's a void because, our spokesperson is no longer there. So hopefully we'll be able to find someone.
People didn't meet Shane Hall. They missed a human being in life that was special.
Yes, very special. And we were honored to be able to work with Shane. So that's a great thing that we do also in the community. And there's many other things that we're involved with as well.
Well, there's one. Y'all's list could go on. There's ones coming up. There's a couple. Some folks may recognize you for the governor's one shot, which this may air after it occurs this year, but it's going to occur again next year. What is that? And then I also want to talk about toys coming up too.
Okay, that sounds great. So the governor's one shot turkey hunt is kind of like our premier fundraiser every year. And, it was interesting because that was started in, I think 2001 by
I was there, but I don't remember.
That was, the brainchild of Jeanette Rudy. And
she was awesome, too.
Yes, yeah. Governor Phil Bredesen at the time. And they would go out and hunt in Kansas. And they saw what a great event that was and a fundraiser for wildlife across their state. So they came back and said, hey, we'd like to do that here. So that's how it was started back then. It used to be held down in Pulaski for many, many years. Mm-hmm. We recently, in the last few years, have moved it up here to Nashville. And currently it's at the Franklin factory is where we hold that. And it's usually the 1st of April or opening day this year. And we probably have between 400 and 500 people. And awesome. We are sold out, and it's just a fun evening and event. They come in on Friday evening before the event, and we kind of have a social time where the guides meet the hunters and just socialize. And then the next morning they go out. Johnny Allred has done a great job of coordinating property across the Middle Tennessee, and then having guides match up with those hunters. That's a big job, and so we're able to do that.
It is a tremendous job.
Yes,
and
so if there's anybody out there that has property or would like to guide, even next year, that's a great help to us.
And that is a great fundraiser for y'all. And
it is.
It seems like it's been successful since the day it started.
It has, and we're just so excited to grow it and do so well with it. And the other thing that really it offers us is just more exposure in the community. People can see more of what we're doing, and so then they come back in the evening, and it is a competition. So there's prizes, and we have a great event for the banquet on Saturday night, live auction items, which are really incredible this year. Johnny's done a great job, and Richard, of getting those things together. So I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of my staff and the great job they do, and just everyone that supports it and comes out. It's fun. It's really fun.
I was going to say, if you want to go on one of those hunts and have the opportunity to, it's really exciting. I got to video one of the hunts one year.
That's right, Jason.
And we chased turkeys all day long, and finally got 2 birds doubled. And,
oh, wow.
And didn't get back in time for the weigh-in because it was hitting the deadline of getting in. So it's pretty fun, exciting.
Yeah, and it really is. It's a fun competition. It's not like anybody's going to get mad because they came back late or whatever, but it's just a fun thing.
And we have like 20 to 30 wounded soldiers hunting this year, which is more than we've ever had. We have them in the past, but this year we're very excited to have them on board, and they absolutely love it. So we have a special competition. They have their own category, and then we have everybody else to compete with. So it's fun. It's a great time. I have to laugh all the time about this story with Commissioner Jeff McMillan, because I've always hunted it, being with Bass Pro Shops for all these years. And one year I was like, wow, I'm actually, I'm going to win this. I've got the top score. And I called Jeff McMillan on my cell phone, and he's like, I said, are you coming in? He goes, yeah, I'm just on my way. And he ended up beating me by like 1 point. And he said, I told everybody, it didn't matter as long as I beat Julie Schuster, it doesn't matter. And I couldn't believe it. So he beat me out of winning one year. So, but a lot of fun.
All right. Well, it's, do you get to hunt it anymore? Or do you have to?
No.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's one of the bad parts of the role.
I know.
It?
And it's like when I became a commissioner too, I was like, what? I can't put in for an elk tag?
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Hey, y'all also do something called Toys. You've taken that over. It's Tennessee Outdoor Youth Summit. Going to be in Crossville this year?
Yes, we've just moved it from Clarksville, and we're very excited to have it out in Crossville because of the 4-H camp out there. Yeah. Great facility, and that there's so many things for kids to do at the camp.
Are y'all still looking for kids right now?
Absolutely, and they can go to our website, twrf.net, and look under our toys header there and sign up.
And right under programs.
Yes.
Okay, and this is for pretty much, you can look at the kids. It looks like they're, 13 or 14?
Junior high.
Junior high.
Yep, and you can, and it goes through before you enter your first year of college.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
And it's such a great program because TWA partners with us and is so involved in this. So what we do is we have different venues, different like workshops where kids can come out, and if they're interested in wildlife management, firsthand learn what it's like to be out there and do what you guys do, and that's pretty neat. And officers from across the state come out and help with different things.
It's really a good mixture of things that are fun to do in the field, plus, like you said, seeing what some of our folks do. I know you saw telemetry shot a minute ago where they had the antennas in their hands. That's pretty neat, and they go out and do bat stuff. This is an example of doing a fish survey. And we've had fish biologists come out there and show them how they age fish and identify fish. But they also get to go have fun like this, go catch catfish, jugging and canoeing. And so they have a lot of the fun stuff mixed in with sort of the academic stuff.
Absolutely. And, we culminate the whole week with a great program where the parents can come, and we do awards, and we show photos of the kids throughout the week, which is really fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you are only wanting to go into wildlife management. We want all kids to come and enjoy it. And we have probably 110 kids that come every year. And the Maddox Foundation is really, here in Middle Tennessee, is really big in supporting us every year for that. So we really appreciate that. But, as we're just looking at some photos here, that's really what it's all about. If we don't start getting these kids back involved, it's going to make a big impact on wildlife in the future because, it takes that interest to get involved. And our society has changed so much. So,
do you take the cell phones away from them when they get there?
I don't see many cell phones. I think we probably do.
I hope you do. Because they're going to have a memory here. I wish this would have been around a long time ago when I was this age. This is the best summer camp I've ever seen. Because it is. And I don't know if summer camp's what you should call it, but it reminds me of a camp that's as good as any that you'll ever see.
It is. And we have great reports on it, parents that are so appreciative because lives are changed here. I mean, really, lives are changed. And we have some great stories about youth that come here and really their lives have changed. So.
Well, they have something to do the rest of their life.
Some of our wildlife officers now were in this program.
Right.
They went through this as a kid, and then they helped, and they interned with us, and now they're...
Well,
And I want to
Working
assure
for
their
us.
parents work very hard to make sure these kids are safe here. A lot of mentors
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And you were talking about coming through the program, but Lacey Lane from McKenzie, Tennessee, she heads up the program now, and she's come through the program all along.
yeah.
So, it's really good to have someone leading it that actually knows the ins and outs of it. And Lacey heads up our shooting program as well in the state, and we're really
And also one of the
privileged.
best clay target shots in
Yes.
America, in Tennessee for sure.
Don't
but all
want to
over
go
the
up against
country.
her now.
I would not want to.
Well, and she's
very
also
good.
doing the pistol program too, right?
Yes, yep, absolutely.
Give some information about that.
Well, I think we're in our second, maybe third year of the Tennessee Scholastic Action Shooting Program. So that's involved with, instead of the Scholastic Clay Target Program, we're using pistols, and now they've introduced rifle.
Okay.
So it's a timed competition against steel targets, and these kids just love this. And what's really neat is they can get into the sport fairly inexpensively. These pistols, we're going to have, I think in the future here, Beretta's going to be making us some special pistols, really nice ones that will have orange grips for Tennessee and stuff. And so
Beretta,
they'll-
right in Gallatin, Tennessee, Beretta?
Yes.
All right.
And so we're pretty excited about that, and kids can get in for under $300, which that's pretty good. And so we want to be able to get more kids into the sport, and it's really growing. And a big part of the success there, funding-wise, has been Larry and Brenda Potterfield with Midway USA in Columbia, Missouri. They've been very generous, and we really appreciate what, they see the vision, they know the vision of getting more kids into the shooting sports.
All right. I expect you meet a lot of interesting people and a lot of folks that are willing to give their time and some cases their money
Yes.
to this kind of stuff.
Yes, and
Sure.
it does take money. That's the side of it. But what there's no better thing to be given to right now for if you love the outdoors, is being able to funnel it through folks like ourselves to get the job done.
All right. If you had to do all over again and the same path was in front of you, would you take it?
I sure would.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up in Minnesota, I love the outdoors. I didn't know anything about hunting back then because I loved to shoot. I'm a little 22, right? But, back then in the 60s, I didn't know of any other women that hunted. So I didn't know I had the opportunity. And then when I met my husband in Colorado and he hunted elk and antelope and fly fished, I was like, wow, this is awesome. But yet never knew that my path would take the outdoor career as it has. And when you have something that's so passionate and then you're able to realize it in your job, it's pretty great.
Okay, good. And what else? I want to talk about turkey hunting for a minute, but what else do you want to talk about on this?
Well, like
How about how to donate? I've got the donate page up here. How could they?
I'm supposed to lead you with those
I know.
questions.
I was
aren't
like,
I'm
so
failing as a
I was
host.
opening it up to like my hunting, or yes, like I've mentioned before, go to twrf.net. And there will be some places on there where you can donate, and of course we'll take checks as well.
And toys. Is there a cost to go to toys?
Yes, it's
She got you there.
$350, but
Best
we do
$350 ever. Yep.
provide scholarships.
Okay.
So go
All
ahead
that out
and-
there on the site to tell you. Will it tell you about
Yes,
scholarships?
it will.
Okay.
It's very thorough, and all the information is there. So yes, and please sign up early because it does fill up.
Yeah. Okay. And when is it held? I don't think we said the time of year.
I believe it's the middle of July.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly of the dates right
That's
here.
all right. It's
but
on the
it's like
site.
the second
It's
weekend.
summertime, though.
Yeah, second weekend. So, and the great thing out there is that we're going to have so many opportunities for things to do. Like we'll be able to do some archery tag. There's a pool there. There's campsite. There's just a lot of fun things to do when it's downtime. So,
Okay. And
Looks
these
like
kids.
July 16th through the 21st.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jason.
And they come from all over the state, right? When I've gone to the
Right.
ones in Clarksville, I've talked to kids that are way over in the East Tennessee and way over in West Tennessee and everything in between.
Exactly, and we have a great representation from East Tennessee. So, like you said, I wish they had this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right? Great opportunity. So, we're very privileged to be able to partner with you guys and do this.
Does any other state that you know of do anything like this? Any other foundation or any other wildlife agency?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No. And this was really the brainchild of Jeremy Odom that was started in the state here. And that was
Officer
his vision.
in Montgomery County.
That's right. And it was his vision. And so, it takes people like that who have that vision to start something like this. And it's grown, and we're pretty excited about it. And
It got to the size it needed some help.
Right.
It needed the foundation to come in. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's great. Yeah, we've got to find things for our youth to be more involved in with this. It's no longer a lifestyle like it was for so many of us to,
Right.
do that after school or, food and things. So we just got to bring back those opportunities.
It's a good way of saying it. It's no longer a lifestyle. It should be. I wish it were. It still is for some folks, Julie, but there's a lot of people that live in our cities and suburbs around here. They don't have an idea of what
Right.
they're missing. They don't even have a clue. And that's
Right.
the sad thing. And if they don't learn it now, what you're saying is they may never learn it.
Right,
anyway.
and sometimes, what they don't understand, you become fearful of. And I think if they just had the opportunity, so many of us love the sport, but then I think it gets to a point, and I always wondered that as you get older, people say that, well, I just don't have to hunt, but I sure enjoy taking somebody else out. And it's true,
Yeah.
because you've done it, and now it's time to pass it on. But that's what it's going to take somebody that might not have the opportunity.
Yeah, and I like that. There's not, Jason, you do get rid of some of that fear. You learn what a firearm, how it works. You're not scared of the firearm anymore. You learn that coyotes probably aren't going to come and eat you up. And
Right.
You learn that really there's not any grizzly bears that live in Tennessee. We do have black bears, but they're small. You just learn a lot of stuff.
One thing we need to hit on before Julie gets out of here is that book.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Ed has talked about it. Director Carter has talked about this book, but the foundation has played a big part in it, and
Yes.
I think we ought to talk about that.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, Jason. So just before Christmas, again, we partnered with TWRA, and I think it was a vision of Director Carter's for a few years to produce a book on wildlife across Tennessee and also highlight the wildlife management areas. And, of course, Larry Richardson was a former employee of TWRA and a great writer, and so he wrote the book. And then photography was by Tom Wood, who was also a retired TWRA.
And a really good photographer.
Yes, unbelievable. And
Yeah.
so it all kind of came together, and they were able to do it through us, the foundation, and it is a beautiful coffee table book. And
100% Tennessee.
absolutely, the photos, some of the quotes, we've added quotes from important people in the outdoor industry and from our state, and that's been a great thing. So the book is $39.95, I believe.
That sounds right. That's
And
right.
You can go on
Good
our
present.
website at twrf.net, and you can order it right online, and we will ship that out to you. And then all the funds come to us, and we put that in a fund for TWRA to be used for the things that come up that you guys need. So
Great deal. All right, it's all around a good thing, and it is a beautiful book all about Tennessee. You see what wildlife, what a lot of our folks are doing in the field, and
yes.
then just some beautiful scenic shots. All right, Julie, it's turkey time in Tennessee. Are you going to go? Do you turkey hunt in Tennessee?
I love it. Living out west, I didn't know at the time, at least in the mountains of Colorado, about turkeys till I moved here in 1996. Wow.
Why did you come here? Was that for Bass Pro?
Well, no, it wasn't. My husband was a musician out in Dillon,
Daryl.
Colorado, Silverthorne, right? Kind of the ski resort. He was also a musician out there, and so the thing is, let's move to Nashville. We didn't have kids, and we thought, well, now's a good time to do it. So we moved here for that, and I told Daryl, well, I don't want to do the starving artist thing. So he went and taught high school math at Cheatham County High and worked on some music, played the bluebird and did some of those things. But like a lot of people, it's not always what you think it is. And the success is very narrow for that kind of thing, depending upon what you're looking
Daryl's
for.
a good musician. He's a smart guy, too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And so we moved here because of that.
Yeah.
And I worked for a Christian music company for a few years. And then Bass Pro was opening up in 2000. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great to work for an outdoor company? And so I interviewed and hired on right when they opened. And that's kind of how that happened. But then turkey hunting became a big thing. I met, my outdoor mentor, Kathy Butt, whose husband does taxidermy in town. And she was an outdoor writer, and we absolutely hit it off. And she really...
And a good sportsman herself.
Oh, my gosh,
That's awesome.
yes. Has really opened up the opportunities for me to hunt with other women all over the country. And so one of my first turkey hunts was actually over here in Wilson County, and a guy I'd met through Bass Pro took me on my first turkey hunt. And once you shoot that first turkey, it's the adrenaline rush. There's this battle going on between you and the bird, outwitting smarts and all that. So that was pretty exciting. And I have to say, elk hunting and probably that are two of my favorite.
I was going to say, where would you put them in your?
Yeah,
level?
And I think the calling is involved, and that's what's fun.
Yeah.
And so I've hunted turkeys all over. I don't have my Osceola yet, but otherwise I've shot everything else. So
I was down in Tampa recently. I didn't see any turkeys. But,
You were on the water too much.
on the water too much. I didn't see much of anything. All right, Julie, you did great. We'll get you in here
Thank you,
sometime. We'll
guys.
just talk hunting.
It goes so fast.
And fishing, it does. You know how. You were a radio person. You know how fast the show goes. And this one doesn't even have commercial breaks in it,
Gosh.
right?
Well, thanks, you guys. I
You're
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank
You do a
you.
great job, Julie. You've done wonderful stuff for our agency and for sportsmen in Tennessee
Thank you.
and all over the country.
Hey, if you like this show, keep watching. We're on the best place to find us.
If you don't, keep watching.
Yeah. Or listen. We can do both.
That's right.
tnwildlife.org is a good place to start. But we're out there everywhere. Keep watching our social media, trying to keep you informed any way we can. And
Check out his Wildcast Extra about confirmation numbers when you kill a turkey
yes,
All right.
write that number down.
on Facebook.